I want you to know what this rumor is because it ties into our next guest. And it's not just a rumor. I've heard this from a very credible, well-placed source. And that is that Bob Filner is seriously considering running for mayor of San Diego. Whether that be the case or not, our next guest does want to send him into retirement. And that's American hero, Iraqi war veteran running for Congress in the 51st District, Nick Popaditch.
Ira! All right, now, as long as we're motivated, let's have some fun here today. And I want to talk about freedom. That's why, because I know I'm going to be preaching to the choir about the Constitution, so I thought I'd just take a minute and talk about freedom. I was a United States Marine. I had the privilege of serving most of my adult life in the United States Marine Corps. Ira! I served with the 1st Marine Division, most recently in the War on Terror, in this war in Iraq. And I want to tell you a little bit about it, the privilege I had over there. I was privileged to be in Baghdad and see the fall of a dictator there. I was privileged to fight in Fallujah. And in Fallujah, I seen something there that was just amazing to me. I seen civic leaders step up and be murdered for making a difference in their community. I seen patriots stand up in their country and line up at police stations and get murdered for standing up to join their police force. I seen Iraqi civilians go to army recruiting stations and be blown up by IEDs just trying to make a difference in their community, trying to stand up for freedom, trying to stand up for liberty. And it was inspiring. It was inspiring to be on the street with them. It was inspiring to be an American, to be part of a nation, be part of a corps that would be over there helping these people bring freedom to their nation. We've had it here for 234 years. It was a privilege to be over there helping them achieve it in theirs. And I tell you, when I was there, when I was on the street, it was just amazing. When the battle for Fallujah started, there were only 20 members of their military showed up. And my Marines looked at me and they were mad. They said, "Gunny, this is baloney." But they didn't say baloney. They used some other words for me. They said, "Gunny, this is bunk." 20 of them showed up, and I said, "Marines, 20 guys are willing to pick up a rifle and fight for their freedom? I'll fight with them." And they said, "We will too, Gunny." And we went in and we fought alongside them. And because of those who stood up, those 20 who stood up for their freedom, because of those Marines, because of those soldiers, sailors, airmen who stood by their side, that 20 turned into 2,000. Turned into 20,000, turned into a free Iraq because we didn't abandon them, because we did what Americans do, and we stuck by our allies and we didn't abandon them. And over there I realized something. I realized those battles that I was watching being fought in the street, they'd been fought 200 years ago in my nation. My freedom had been paid for by my founding fathers, by our founding fathers, by those individuals who stood up against the most powerful empire in the world and fought for their freedom. And that freedom was fought for again and again through those years. The greatest generation fought in World War II against the Nazis, against the Japanese Empire. In Korea, against the spread of communism. You Vietnam veterans out there fighting the spread of communism. I was born on your watch. I was born under the freedom you were out there providing in Vietnam when I was born in 1967. Those battles were paid for in blood. The blood of patriots paid for my freedom, our freedom, all of us here today. Well, now the chain of custody of liberty is on us. It's being passed down to our generation. Our liberty, that liberty that so many fought so hard for, it's down to us now. What are we going to hand down to our children and to our children's children? Are we going to hand down the liberty that we were born into? Are we going to hand down the economic opportunity that so many took chance on business, went to work every day, built the most powerful economy in the world? Are we going to hand that same economy down to them? Those same liberties? Hey, the chain of custody's on us, and I'll tell you what, I came up with the same answer that individual just shouted right there. But I didn't want to just sit around and get mad about it. My commanding general, General Mattis, had a great expression. He said, you ask a Marine to move a piano, he doesn't start by picking up the bench. So neither did I. I decided to run for Congress in California's 51st Congressional District. Many of you know me, and I tell you, you're going to find one thing about me. I'm an honest man. I'm an honest broker. You're not going to hear a different story here in Sweetwater to Harley Davidson that you hear in Chula Vista, that you hear in Imperial Valley, that you hear down on the border. I have one message. I don't change it for the community. It's straight Americanism, limited government, strong national defense, secure government, or secure borders, and strong American families. Those things, they don't change. I'm not interested in reaching across the aisle to anybody who's wrong. Let me tell you that one. Limited government. We all know government can't create jobs. It can just prevent those who do. This expanding government, it's a big ruse. What they do is they tell you they're going to provide a solution. Well, we all know every government solution to an everyday problem that you could solve, it comes at the cost of some of your liberty. It comes at the cost of some of your opportunity. Something you're going to have to sacrifice for that government to make that solution for you. Those of us out here, we know that that's a bad deal. Now, this is the problem. Our elected officials right now don't seem to know that. Their votes are being bought, and this is the sad part. It used to just be bought with our money, and that's bad enough. But now they're buying it with our kids' money and our grandkids' money. They don't even have the courage to use our own, and they're going to hand down a legacy of depression and debt to those children. So I say enough. No riders, no earmarks, no unnecessary legislation, no unconstitutional crap.